Okay. Well, there's a bee. Sorry, I had to restart. Second time. I just walked past a deer head in my backyard and I had to get it. Anyway, I'm gonna talk to you guys about some personal observations that I've made regarding the luminaries being small, local, and close to your perspective. If you see them, they're small and local to your perspective, right? So, I wrote down some keywords and notes, and I'm just gonna kind of riff and talk. I usually don't write down notes or anything like that, but I figure since there's a lot of observations I wanted to make and like things to share and popular things and sayings, I'll just go through them. So there's a Tesla quote, and I wasn't aware, didn't understand certain things that he said a long time ago, but they started to make sense now because of my observations that I started making on my own. The quote goes, each nation has its own ray and light source known as the sun. So if you think about that, there's a lot of nations and a lot of things, and so that means like there has to be multiple sources. So the prism that the sun shines down through makes many suns, in my opinion, or we each see our own personal projections. So like it says in the Bible and popular quotes, you know, I'm a lamp at your feet, a light on your path. Like at the beach, we each have a sun ray at our feet. It's like a popular observation that a lot of flat earthers have made. Sorry, I'm just going through my backyard in the creek. Nice little beautiful area. I'm just walking down the streams, and we got a bunch of creeks in our backyard. So like, all right, your highway perspective. Say you're traveling down the highway, and you look up through your sunroof, or you look up to the front of your windshield. You're traveling 60, 70 miles per hour, and the sun's traveling with you. It's just traveling with you, right? So, and it's moving through the clouds really fast, super fast, and you stop and pull the car over, and it'll stop moving. It'll stop with you. That's because it's centered to you. Now, pull yourself from your vehicle, from your perspective. You pull it from your perspective. Put yourself on the opposite side of the highway in another person's car and do the exact same thing. What you're gonna see and have if you were to record the sky for both people is something completely different. And that's just within like a few hundred meters of one another. That's let alone somebody that's 10 miles down the road and 10 miles down the road. They all see a different sky. And I'm gonna keep explaining this explanation to you guys. So, like, okay, in Top Gun, the proof that it's centered to you. Like in the movie Top Gun, there's a scene where he's in a fighter jet and they show a gleam of the sun off the water when he's like several thousand feet up in the air, and the sun is a perfect circle. It's not I don't think it's spherical. I think it's a circle, and it's looking down on you. It might be spherical in the heavens, but as we see it, it's just a disc. I can tell that by sun gazing. But he's flying at like however fast a F-15 goes. You can look that up. It's ridiculous speeds, faster than sound. So like, and the sun is just following him. It's centered to him. Like, yeah, it's say like, you'll see a plane that it looks like it's near the sun or the moon, but the people in that plane don't think they're near the sun or the moon because they're all centered and local to your perspective. Like, so you think about that, you can't triangulate or catch the sun or anything like that. There is no one sun model. Let's get that loud and clear. People need to, like, there is a map. You can chart the map. The earth is stationary, flat and stationary, so, and it does not move. So people need to get that through their head too when they start thinking about their model. And there is no form and shape. There is form. The earth has form, for sure has form. Okay, the sun shines through a prism. So, like it shows you on the dollar bill. So, and like in crepuscular ray photos, you see it shining down through the prism. Just research crepuscular ray photos. The very first photo on Google will show you that the sun's not even lighting up that area. And that area is not even but a small portion of the Earth. So you think about that Nikola Tesla quote, and you think about that observation of the corpuscular ray photos. It's impossible for there to be a one sun model. Just impossible. You get it? Okay, I'm going to keep going. A Navajo cosmos. Now, the same with the Book of Enoch. People make fun of this ancient description, depiction, and literature. These aren't stuff that we're making up. This Pac-Man theory. We're not making this stuff up. It already exists. It already exists. There's no new thought in the realm of intelligence. Everything is, as was, always will be. Okay, let's keep going. The Navajo cosmos, they show the tinker. It goes back and forth on top. And it goes from one end to the other, just like it states in the scriptures. Psalms 19:1, 4 and 6. Psalms 19:1, it talks about how the firmament is proof of God's handiwork. I'm going to keep going with that. That's more to do with the stars. 4 and 6 both talk about a resting place for the sun. Now, there's a meme I have on my Facebook profile. I can't exactly remember how it goes, but it's like the sun arrives in Brisbane like 5 hours after the United States, and it arrives in the United States. There's like 12 hours missing to where it doesn't explain the exact rotation of the sun, because it's not on a rotation. It's on a scheduled pattern based on your location on Earth, your personal experience, as like all the ancient perspectives show you from your personal experience. So like if everybody was experiencing this experience bubble, perspective bubble of it all being close and local, your model will not work. Your model and map and mileage has to be charted by machines and man work and foot, like counting, like physically counting. Like you can't judge the mass of the land based off the magical luminaries observation. Like it won't add up. So even though like a lot of sun observations debunk the AE model and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter once you figure out the luminaries are all close and local to your perspective. But everybody sees the sun at certain angles. So like different times a year, each lunar month, the shadows slightly change on my fence line. It's not going further south because it's small and local to my perspective. It's just changing the angle at which we see it. We all see it at that angle. It's not possible for any model. Let's get that clear. We all see it at the exact same angle. I'm going to talk about something else in a second that does the same thing. The moon. We're going to talk about the moon now. The moon, we always see the same side of it, no matter how far close we are. And the people in the north and the south see a reflective view. It's turned the opposite way, but they're seeing the exact same side. Catch that one, globe heads. If it's in your perspective, it's close into the clouds. So say like you're looking at say it's a cloudy night, just but barely cloudy enough for the moon to get through it. You're seeing it close and local to your perspective. Like that's what you're seeing. So you got to think about when somebody else sees it 20 miles down the road, they're seeing a different set of clouds and close and local to their perspective. Now, this is with a 10 to 20 mile zoom camera. We all can zoom in on the moon from like different countries and states with a 10 to 20 mile zoom camera. So it matches the sky as well as too. In times you'll see people take pictures of the moon where the moon is the invisible part will be the same color as the sky, and the one that's not self-illuminated. All right, and when you're traveling down the highway as well, the moon will follow you too. And because there's less other light pollution, and because it's dark outside, the moon will make that more evident that it's following you either down the highway. It's really evident when it's following you down the highway, and above you through clouds when the clouds aren't moving and then you're moving. And when the moon is full, check it out. Bob your head with the moon. Wait till the full moon and just bob your head. It's attached to your eye lens. It's attached. So like, oh yeah, say like the Arctic sun. If there's a camera there or a lens there, there's a sun there. You'll never be lost on Earth. There will always be lights based off and angled at a certain angle, based off your coordination and grid location on Earth. That's it. On square Earth. Anyway, like the moon also becomes larger on the horizon than it does above you. So it's supposed to be like further away because and smaller. That's technically how things should be, but it's bigger on the horizon because it's coming through the prism. And then when it gets above you, it's fighting through less prism, and it's directly above, like a magnifying glass. So it's not having that magnifying effect. So, all right, the stars. Now, let me talk the perspective of the stars and how we all see that close and local as well. Like the Big Dipper. Say it's nighttime. The sun takes up more of the Earth during the day than the night. So say the night takes up 1/3 or 2/5 of the Earth. That's like 5,000 miles, which we all see the Big Dipper all at the same angle. Now, if you do balloon launches, you do balloon launches, you do videos from the ISS, high altitude planes, any picture as seen above the clouds, you never see the stars above the clouds. You never see the stars. Never, ever, 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 you won't. You can only see them from the ground. You lose sight of them after a certain commercial height. Same with the moon, because they're in the sky, they're in the firmament. The firmament is like glass, but in lots of mythology and other religions and holy books, firmament only means sky. Like, and the other words for firmament is father sky, Uranus, ether, Nanette. So it's like glass. It seems because it holds it together perfectly. But you know, glass doesn't rotate opposite directions. Like the equator rotates straight east to west, the north half rotates circles perfectly around you, and in the south they circle perfectly around you as well. So glass doesn't turn in separate directions and being one. You know what glass is? It's solid, all one piece. How could you have different rotational fields on one solid piece of glass? Doesn't work. All right, another sun observation that I've told all my Facebook friends, like it goes back to the Tesla quote. New York, and Lima, South America are in the same time zone, and they both have a small and local noon sun, and they're 3,500 miles apart. Now this is going back to one sun model's observation that crushes the Lisa model, because anyway, when the sun is 6-7 time zones from you, like east in the morning and supposedly setting in the afternoon, that's roughly 3,500 to 4,500 miles where it's dark outside. Like, it's dark. But yet Lima and New York are 3,500 miles apart. There's no light outside from me when the sun's supposedly at that distance. But you know what? I know I can't see 3,500 miles. And when I look at crepuscular ray photos, I know that the area I'm looking at is max maybe 100 miles on a clear day. I can't see that far. So if the sun's right above me in this area, this vicinity, even when it's setting the area, setting the light over the trees in my area. It's in my perspective. When I don't see it anymore, it's done for me. You can't catch up with time. The sun is time. The day is the time. You have a set schedule and pattern. There is no clock. This land was made for you and me. And see if I missed anything. Yeah, so like the dome is, the firmament's 22 miles high. 22 miles high. And when you go above, it's just the sun in the heavens above, the blackness, the darkness, whatever you want to call that. The sun is alone by itself. And that's why you see the eclipse from the ground. Like, because the sun is above and the moon is below it. Even in globe head science, it's 3 times the height of the moon. And anyway, well, I think that was a pretty good ramble and thing. I hope that some of y'all share this observation. I'll try to get out more observations and more things as I collect things. I don't like to put out lots of videos every time I have a thought. I like to let them collect and where I can gather information. But everybody stay safe. Peace, love, and hugs.